Yo, welcome back to Graffiti University Comics. Today we got some great topics, but before we get into those topics, I want to send a shout out to everybody who always supporting my brand, who always hitting the like, the share, the comments, who purchase my books, who send me kind, encouraging, inspiring words to keep me motivated and share on how my art, my experience helped them in their world. So, I know it's been a minute since I gave a update on some of the comic books that I've been working on behind the scenes for WBC Comic Book 2. I want to give an update on that. I want to give an update on North Park Comic Book Series. Also, I want to give an update on the other things that I've been working on behind the scenes. But before we get into all of that, I want to give a shout out to all the media that's been covering my story, that's been getting my story out there. I appreciate everybody who share my story and get my work out there and help people all over the world. If you haven't caught the latest article that was out last week, it was an article. It's in my timeline. If you go on my page, you can see them. You can read the great articles. It was in Italy, a magazine way off in the world in Italy. You know, that is amazing for me to be able to have my story covered in Italy in a magazine, touching people all out of the country, in a whole nother country. You know, that's just amazing to me. The news station, they've been covering my story, and a lot of times, you know, I get very emotional when it comes down to my story, sharing my story through my art, helping the people throughout the world. You know, that is something that it just is, words can't explain, you know, the feelings that I get behind the scenes on when I realize that I touched somebody's life. You know, either it's from a juvenile, a teenager, adult, a senior citizen. I get messages and compliments from people from all walks of life. You know, that's just something amazing to me, you know. So that just pushes me to keep going, you know. And if you think that the stories that you heard through my art have got a great impact on you all now, just wait. I haven't even scratched the surface of some of the deepest dark. Not all of them are dark though, because even in my darkness, I had moments, beautiful moments, amazing times in my life where life was beautiful, even in the midst of me being at the bottom. You know, even when I was caught up in jails and institutions and things like that. You know, there was amazing stories that it was certain events that touched my life that gave me a new perception on life. And so as I continue to create and continue to travel back in time and pull these stories, because a lot of those stories they like buried, so I had to go and dig them up. You know, I had to go back and get these stories to bring them back to life and not just heal from them, but also share them with the world, so the world can get an insight on what it was like for me. And this is the forms and the creation that I create through my art to express to you all some of my journey in life. And telling my story through my art has become one of the best healers that I ever experienced in my life.